Some love stories don't end. They just wait. Hi everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Emotional Stories by Olivia. Once upon a time, snow fell quietly that morning. Not heavy, not gentle, just enough to cover everything. The streets, the trees, and the memories Olivia had spent a lifetime trying to forget. Olivia was 60 years old. She lived alone in a small wooden house in a quiet New England town, where winters felt endless and silence settled deep into the walls. Her home was warm, but her life had grown cold over the years, cold in the way only loneliness can make it. She put on her coat, slipped her hands into worn gloves, and stepped outside with a shovel. Clearing snow had become part of her routine. There was no husband to say, "I'll do it." No child calling from the doorway. Just Olivia, and the sound of snow crunching beneath her boots. Each scrape of the shovel felt like time itself being pushed aside. Then she saw it. Something white but not snow. An envelope, half buried near her doorstep. She froze. Who wrote letters anymore? Olivia bent down and carefully pulled it from the snow. The paper was damp, the edges curled from the cold, but the name written on the front stopped her breath. Olivia Carter. Her hands began to shake. No one ever wrote her name by hand anymore. Not like this. She hurried inside, closed the door, and stood near the heater, staring at the envelope as if it might vanish. Slowly she opened it. At the top of the page was a date. January 11th, 1989. Her heart dropped. That year. The year she had made the most painful decision of her life. The letter began. Olivia. If you are reading this, then you should know. I waited. Tears filled her eyes. The letter was from Daniel. A name she hadn't spoken in decades. A love she had buried deep beneath responsibility and fear. 30 years earlier, Olivia and Daniel had been young and hopelessly in love. Daniel was a musician with dreams bigger than his wallet. Olivia was a schoolteacher who believed love alone could build a future. They planned to marry. But life didn't make it easy. Olivia's father was sick. Bills kept piling up. Daniel had passion but no security. Then came Richard Carter, a successful businessman who offered stability, comfort, and a future that made sense on paper. Olivia chose safety over love. She left Daniel without saying goodbye. The letter continued. I came to your house every day, Olivia. In the snow. In the rain. I stood outside hoping you would open the door. You never did. Her chest tightened. She remembered that day clearly. Standing behind the curtain, watching Daniel walk away. She could have called out. She could have run outside. She didn't. The letter went on. I wrote this letter in case life took me somewhere you couldn't find me. If I'm not here when you read this, please know. I forgave you a long time ago. Olivia broke down. She had married Richard. He was kind and dependable. He gave her a comfortable life but not the love that made her feel alive. Years later, Richard passed away. And Olivia was left with everything, except happiness. The last lines of the letter read, If you ever think it's too late, remember this. It's never too late for love. Inside the envelope was a photograph. Daniel standing in the snow, smiling like he always used to. Olivia pressed it to her chest. I was wrong, she whispered. I was so wrong. Just then, a knock on the door. She looked up startled. No one ever came by in weather like this. She opened the door to find a man in his 40s standing outside. His eyes were gentle, familiar. I'm sorry to bother you, he said softly. Are you Olivia Carter? She nodded. I'm Daniel's son, he said. My father passed away last month. He asked me to make sure you received this letter. The world seemed to stop. He was alive? Olivia asked, her voice trembling. Yes, the man replied. And he spoke of you until the very end. Tears streamed down her face. Was he happy? She asked. The man smiled gently. He used to say that even unfinished love still fills a person's heart. Snow continued to fall outside. But inside Olivia's heart, something long frozen finally began to thaw. She realized then, some love stories don't end. They just wait, buried under snow, until the right moment brings them back to the surface. Thank you for listening. For more stories, long or short, please visit my channel Emotional Stories by Olivia. Every story here can touch your heart. God bless America.